Hey, what's up guys? My name is Joe and people call me Mortarman, and today I've got a video commentary for you guys. In the background you will see some Far Cry 3 gameplay, but that's not what the video is about. Today I'm going to be telling you how YouTube saved me. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, now how in the world could YouTube save a person? But for the people like my friends and family, the people who know me the best and my closest friends, they already know all about this. But for people in general, you know, that don't know me very well, would be surprised as to exactly how involved YouTube has been in my life and how much it has saved me. And so I don't really know exactly how I'm going to get to the point. I'm going to do the best I can and try to stay focused on the topic without you know, any variation. But basically it starts in 2004 when I got out of the Army. I came back home, and it's tough for anyone to find a job, much less an Army veteran with no real skills for the outside world. I mean, my trade in the Army was killing. So I was an infantry soldier in the Army, which does not apply in the outside world to any extent. So anyway, I get out of the Army, I come home, and I try to get a job, and eventually I hook up with a friend of mine that I had known for many years who had a window cleaning company. And so he put me to work. I worked for him for quite a while, and it worked out really well. But at some point he had to let me go because he could not afford to keep another full-time person at that time. So I got laid off, I guess you could say. So anyway, in the situation that I was in at that moment, I had a roommate and I could not afford to live there anymore, so I had no choice but to move to stay with my dad about an hour away. And so I went to move with my dad in a small town, actually in the town that I still live in today. And there's not much work out here. You know, if you live where I do, you're either self-employed, you work at Walmart, or you work at a fast food place. There pretty much is not anything else for you to do here. So I moved out here to live with my dad, and I decided to. We kind of had planned it a little bit ahead of time anyway. We decided I'd come out here and I'd start my own business. So I started my own window cleaning company with little or no real capital. It was a low overhead type of business. So I started my own window cleaning company, and within a year or so it was already making a decent amount of money, enough for me to get my own place and start paying my own bills again and live on my own. So the business went really well. I had it for a total of 6 years, but during that time I came down with a very serious case of arthritis. Now my type of arthritis is not like the kind that your grandmother has or elderly people usually get. My type of arthritis is crippling. It's very serious and usually only happens to young adults. It's way different than any type of arthritis you've seen. It's very rare. And it attacks every joint in the body to the extent where surgery is necessary to correct it. They call it permanent joint damage. And so I'm already to that point where all of my joints are permanently damaged and will require surgery to fix them. So this does not enable me to do many normal, ordinary, day-to-day things like a healthy man would be able to do. So because my arthritis is so bad, it forced me to sell my business. And when I sold my business, I had a backup plan, but it did not work out, so I was pretty much stuck without any income except for the money that I was getting from the sale of my business. Now, the man who bought my business, we agreed in a payment plan, so he would pay me each month towards the total sale of my business, and that has helped with my finances, but it's not enough by itself to pay all of my bills. So at the time I already was into YouTube a little bit. I had a YouTube channel and stuff, but it was just purely hobby, and that of course wasn't paying any money or nothing like that. So my mother, who's lived with me for quite some time, she has my parents divorced when I was 6 years old. Let me backtrack a little bit. My parents divorced when I was 6 years old, and She is nearly 70 years old now, and she cannot afford to live on her own, and I cannot afford to live on my own either. So she moved out here, you know, after I had my business going well and I had my own place, and so she moved out here, and then we got a bigger place together, and it worked out really well. But because of the arthritis and everything, I ended up having to sell my business, and then we could not afford to live in that bigger house, so we had to move to a smaller place, which is ironically the first place that I lived when I first moved out here. So I know the man that owns it, and it was available, and so we made arrangements to move back in over here. So anyway, arthritis is really bad. Had to sell the business. Needed income. And so for a while, I tried looking for a job, but because I can't sit very long, I can't stand very long, I can't walk very far, I can't lift hardly anything, I can barely twist the top off of a Coke bottle, I can't hold a phone up to my head I mean, I can, but it's very uncomfortable, and I can't do it for very long. So I'm such in bad shape that for insurance purposes, no one would hire me anyway. So I have applied for Social Security, you know, to get on that, but that's a whole nother topic. So anyway, basically I'm in financial ruins. You know, all of my debt is stacking up. I don't have enough income to support myself at the level of income that I was used to living, and so yeah, YouTube was kind of a hobby. But let's see, next month the Next Gamer Network will be 1 year old, and if it wasn't for the Next Gamer Network and YouTube, I would probably be living in under a bridge in a cardboard box, literally, because my mother and I do not have enough income to support ourselves without it. She has a part-time job and Social Security, and then I have my small payment that I get once a month from the sale of my business, and then I have my YouTube money. And combined, that is enough for us to you know, put food on the table and pay the bills. To give you an idea of how bad things were, this time last year we were having to accept donations from friends and family and go and collect food at the local food bank just to have enough food to eat. So it was a very dire situation. So you can forget about having a new pair of shoes or having clothes, you know, new clothes or anything like that. We're talking about the bare bones essentials, you know, bread and milk and you know, lunch meat for sandwiches, and you know, you know, juice to drink or whatever. I mean, there was times where we literally didn't have shit to eat. We had enough money to keep the lights on and pay the you know, the most important bills, but that was it. And so as the network has gotten you know, a little bigger and we have grown, it is starting to provide money, you know, for us to get by. It's still not a lot, and I know some of you are probably thinking, well, you're just a money whore, you know, you're a fat lazy bastard, you need to get out and get a job. But that's not the case at all. And if you want to, you know, call me a money whore, then I guess that you could call anyone that works or has, you know, a job for a living, you could call them money whore as well. I don't really understand that term, but you know, you're all entitled to your opinions, and I'm not here to you know, gripe at you about that or nothing. But yeah, you know, I can't get a regular job. I can't work in an office because I have to be able to get up and go lay down on you know, occasionally. You can't do that at your job. I can't answer the phones or talk on the phone for a long period of time. I can't work at a grocery store, at a fast food place, because I can't stand on my feet or, you know, walk very far. You know, so there is no job for me. But luckily, I can do YouTube from home, and I can sit here at my desk and make videos, you know, answer comments and emails and things like that. And when my legs start hurting from sitting in my chair, I can get up and I can go lay down and relax for a little bit and stretch my legs out, and then when I'm ready, I can come back and sit down some more. And to talk on Skype, I just put my headset on, so I don't really have to talk on the phone or nothing like that for my job. So it's perfect. If I did not have the Next Gamer Network or any type of money or income from the YouTube community, then I would certainly be, you know, basically homeless, and would be my mother as well, because, you know, without each other we can't, we don't have enough income to live without each other. So I'm hoping one day, you know, that YouTube you know, will generate enough income for us to live very comfortably. You know, and some of you may hate on us for that, but that's the only choice I got. And so everything is going really good right now. Like I said, you know, the Next Gamer's 1-year anniversary is coming up next month, and we've grown substantially this year. Things are going really well, and we've got a great team. Everybody's got a very important job to do, and everything is going well. So yeah, that's basically how YouTube has saved me. And you know, you guys are feel free to leave questions and comments. You know, if there's something that I left out, or you know, if you're curious about something, you know, about the story, or how, you know, how it happened, if I left something out, you know, send me a message, or you know, leave a question in the comments. I'll do the best I can to answer it. I usually don't share a lot of personal information on YouTube, you know, because of, you know, when you're with a network, when you're with a network, you know, you have you've got Vizzo and broadband TV to answer to. There's certain things I can and cannot say, you know, in a video, and I have to be careful about, you know, certain things. But you know, I'll try to make, if I come up with some other stories or whatever, you know, I'm almost 42 years old, so there's a lot of things that I've seen and done, and I've had a pretty interesting life. I've had a good life, and so there might be some things that I can share with you guys that you might be interested in. I have to be careful about what I say, because I do have some family members that have YouTube channels, and I come from a very modest Christian family, and some of the things that I've done, they would totally freak out about, so I would not be able to share everything. But there might be some things that I could come up with to share with you guys if you want to hear more about me. But anyway, I think that's pretty much covered how YouTube saved me. I think that I think if, you know, if you're just getting into YouTube, if you can stick it out, if you can figure out a way to make it work, it's a great thing. I don't have any regrets. I'm actually very lucky and fortunate that things worked out for me the way that they did. Sometimes I think to myself, man, you know, if what would I do right now if I didn't have YouTube? You know, if I didn't have a computer, if I didn't have internet, you know, or if YouTube were to just shut down, if something were to happen to it and I couldn't make videos anymore, or, you know, I don't know what I'd do, honestly. I mean, it's that important to me. It literally helps put food on our table. This is no longer a hobby. It's actually a, you know, a full-time job, and very important to me and my family. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna stop rambling now. That's all I got for today. I'm out of time. This is Mortarman with the Next Gamer Network. If you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, follow me on Twitter. Alright guys, this is Mortarman, and I'm out.